Today, we are talking about the ways of organizing governments. This lesson is heavy on vocabulary words, so I will be reading out each vocabulary word to you along with the definition so you can hear the way it is said and see the definition. I will briefly explain each vocabulary word as well. So please make sure that you are matching these vocabulary words on your notes. So, what is government? The government is the institution that creates the rules for a society. All countries have some kind of governments. What differs among them is how leaders are chosen, who makes these rules, how much freedom people have, and how much control the government has over people's lives. So, as we go through the different types of governments, some of them will have more control over the citizens' lives than others. So, the way a country decides to govern its citizens does affect the culture and economics of that area. A a government that has more control, the culture will be more suppressed and more rigid than a country that has a lot of freedoms. So, the government can change from area to area and over periods of time. So, what this means is that some governments can be changed through war, through protest, through civil unrest, civil wars, or just through legislative laws being voted and overturning different parts of the government. So, anarchy is our first vocabulary word. Feel free to pause. Anarchy is a state without a government or law. This means that there is no laws in place for the citizens, and the citizens can do whatever they want. This also means that the people with all the wealth can also do whatever they want. An oligarchy, so that's oligarchy. These is all the power resides with a few people or in a class or group within the society. So this would be where the wealthy 1% of populations has all the power. It may be ruled by like two or three people, or it could be ruled by a whole class of people that have all the wealth. Then we have monarchy. This is a form of government in which a single family rules from one generation to another generation. This means that the crown is passed from father to child or mother to child, but it is passed through the family unless something happens and that family is overthrown. We have dictatorship, and I will show this video in class. It's kind of fun. So, dictatorship is where we have one person or a very small group that make all the rules and decisions, and they do not take input from anyone else. So, this means they have absolute control over that area or that country, and they do not have to listen to anyone else. All right, then we have a representative democracy. This is the United States. We elect representatives that propose, develop, and create laws for the citizens to follow. So we are not directly voting on everything. We have those representatives, our Senate, our Congress, who we have chosen to go and vote for us. Now, direct democracy, this is where all the citizens have direct participation in decision making of the government. This is where when a decision needs to be made, every person that is eligible will go out and have to vote on all the decisions. Then we have theocracy. Theo is related to God. So this is going to be the government uses religious beliefs and religious texts to create laws and guide government decisions. So this is where the government is led by a religion. Then we have totalitarianism. All public and private life is run by the government. Everything that a citizen does must be approved by the government. And then we have autocracy. This is where my picture in the classroom comes in. Y'all see? This is a system of government where one person has absolute power. So this would be sort of where sort of like a mix between um, the dictatorship where one person has absolute power, but this would be like one family passing it down would have absolute power. So, final thoughts on this: the government is an institution that creates the rules for our society. How a country decides to govern its peoples does affect the economy and the culture, and the government can change over time and from area to area. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in class. Go ahead from here. We're going to start working on our lessons. Um, that's all.